if you're just getting started and you're a beginner, you really need to just start with the basics, cut out the crap, and just lay out a solid foundation. Hey there, how's it going? It is your muscle building coach, Lee Hayward. And if you're looking to get yourself in the best shape ever for 2020, then you found the right YouTube video. Because what I'm going to do now is put together a complete training series that's geared towards beginners, either people who have never worked out before or people who are coming back to the gym after a layoff. Because if you go to the gym and you're uncertain about what to do, I mean, maybe you've worked out in the past and you're thinking, should I try and do what I used to do back then? Should I try something new? Where do I start? And a lot of times people just make it too big. They overload themselves with too much. But if you're just getting started and you're a beginner, you really need to just start with the basics, cut out the crap, and just lay out a solid foundation. And I have one for you. This is my Get Back in Shape workout plan. As you can see, I had this typed up and my 3-year-old son got a hold of it before I came to the gym here today. So he did his own additions to this. So we have some 3-year-old scribbles on the page, but nonetheless, it's still a good plan to follow. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're going to do some cardio warm-up. That's the first thing I want you to do. Whenever you come into the gym, start off with a basic cardio warm-up just to get your core temperature elevated, to limber up your body, and basically prepare it for the exercise. I'm at Platinum Fitness. Here we are. Platinum Gym. It's 292 Conception Bay Highway. If you're in CBS Newfoundland, this is an awesome place to train. But I want you to start off with something simple. Now, it could be using the treadmill. It could be using an elliptical machine or something along those lines. One of these machines right here. But bottom line, start off with some cardio and do it for about 10 minutes just to get your core temperature elevated, to work up a light sweat, and to prepare your body for the workouts that to follow. Next, I want you to do some mobility exercises. So the first mobility exercise I want you to do is just some simple neck rotations. And we're going to start from the top and work our way down. So simply do some neck rotations up and down. And this is very important because the neck is very neglected a lot of times. Very few people actually do any exercise for their neck. But it is the root cause for a lot of problems. Postural problems, can cause a lot of nerve impingements, things like that. So it's important to exercise your neck. So just some neck rotations up and down. Do it for at least 20 times. Then do side to side. Just like this. And of course, work within your own comfort range. I mean, if you have some stiffness in your neck, obviously, don't exaggerate the movement. Just go where it feels comfortable. But do at least 20 rotations side to side like this. And then we're going to go ear to shoulder, or as close as you can get. Very few people are actually going to be able to touch their shoulder and their ear together, but do your best. Just go through that motion again, side to side. And do that for 20 rotations. Now, if you're pressed for time and you want to maximize the time you have in the gym and you don't really want to spend all this time warming up and limbering up, then you can do these mobility exercises that I'm sharing with you now. You can do these at home, but when you come to the gym, make sure to start with the cardio first, right? Always do that before you do any weight training exercises. So we just limbered up our neck. Now I want you to do some arm circles. Just basic arm circles. Go backwards. Go forwards, and you can alternate them. Again, do at least 20 rotations in each direction, like this. Now we're going to do some trunk twists. So just hold your arms out to the side like this, and just rotate side to side. And this is good for limbering up that core. All the muscles throughout your midsection getting activated here. And this is stuff that you should do on a regular basis, especially if you haven't been exercising or you haven't been active. It's a good idea to do this because these simple movements will prevent future injury. Like a lot of times the reason people get injured is because their bodies are just totally out of shape. So doing these things are going to help to condition all those muscles of your body, increase your mobility, so that when you are lifting, carrying, shoveling snow, doing whatever, you're at less risk of actually pulling or straining something if your body is constantly moving and doing all these different mobility exercises, and you're stretching and working the muscles in different positions. So those are some good ones to start. And the next one, I just want you to sway your hips from side to side. So put your hands on your hips and just go side to side, literally, just like this. I know it may not seem like a very manly exercise, but it's a good one to do because most people have very weak hips and very poor mobility in their hips. And then as people get older, it's one of those areas that cause problems. I mean, how many older people do you know have hip problems, hip replacements, all that? So it's good to work those hips. And this is a very simple exercise and it works great. You can also do circles. So same thing again, just hip circles, go in one direction, switch, go the other direction. And as you do this, you may feel some kinks or clicks, joint pops and cracks. I mean, that's all normal as your body is limbering up. And again, if you're too self-conscious to do this at the gym, do it at home before you go to the gym. Right? This is stuff you can do at home in your spare time. It doesn't have to be part of an official workout routine, but it's good to do. All right, so now we got the hips all limbered up. All right, so now I'm going to do some deep knee bends. So just place your hands on your knees and just squat down and come up onto the balls of your feet. So you're going to lift your heels off the floor in the bottom, and you're just going to simply go through some deep knee bends. And by placing your hands on the top of your knees like this, it's going to just help to support and make the exercise more comfortable. But it's going to take your knees through that full range of motion. So you may feel some kinks and cracks as you're working out those joints, and that's fine. Again, this is good because it's going to limber up the knees, it's going to limber up the feet, the ankles, and do this for at least 20 repetitions. Now, once you've done all that, now you have your body limbered up and ready to move in to the first weight training exercise. So on our list, we're going to start off with a horizontal rowing move. Now, there are different variations to this, depending on the gym that you're training at, what exercise equipment you have available, and I'm going to give you some different variations, but the ones that we're going to cover here, you should have access to in most gyms. So right here is the seated cable row machine, and this is very common in most gyms. And what I want you to do is take a very light weight and do 15 repetitions. Just go through the motions. Don't worry about lifting heavy or training hard or training to muscular failure, any of that stuff. Just go through the motion, get used to the exercise, and then what I want you to do is rest for a minute and increase the weight slightly and do another set. Again, shoot for 15 repetitions. And depending on how that second set feels, you can go heavier again and do a third set of 15 reps. Another horizontal row variation is the plate-loaded row machine. And this works the exact same muscles, works the back, the biceps, the pulling muscles of the body. So again, do the exact same thing. Shoot for 15 repetitions, start off with a very light weight, and then as you feel comfortable, increase the weight with each set. Now, the main thing with these exercises is to just go through the motions at first. Don't worry about training to failure, pushing yourself hard, or any of that stuff. Just focus on learning the exercises, getting the movement pattern down, and feeling comfortable, and building that habit of showing up to the gym on a regular basis. One of the biggest mistakes that a lot of beginners make is they do too much too soon, and then that ends up making them feel unnecessarily sore, painful, they risk injury, and it just makes it harder to stay consistent. So I don't want you to go through any of that. I want you to actually enjoy the process. Come in here, have fun with the workouts, learn the exercises, and then later on, as you build up your work capacity, as you get stronger, we can always increase the weight, we can always make it more challenging, but just focus on being consistent. Consistency is more important than intensity, especially at the beginning. Next on our list, we've got the horizontal chest press. Now again, depending on the gym that you train at, you may or may not have a machine such as this,
but most gyms will have something similar. And this is a great move that's going to work the pressing muscles of the body. It's going to work the chest, the shoulders, and the triceps. Now, when you're setting up for the chest press, I recommend setting the seat high enough so that your hands are below the height of your shoulders. That's going to help to take some of the strain off the shoulder joint and place more of the workload on the chest muscles. And that's the targeted muscle group that we want to work here. Do 15 repetitions, rest a minute in between sets, and increase the weight each set, but make sure to stay within your own work capacity, your own threshold. Learn the exercise, go through the motions, consistency over intensity. Now, if you don't have access to that, you may have a plate-loaded chest press machine. Again, the exact same exercise, same major muscle groups being worked, so you can use either one of these machines. But I would recommend starting off with machines because, one, they're easier to learn and they reduce your risk of injury. The weights are balanced and supported by the machine, so you're not at risk of getting pinned under a heavy barbell, like if you're doing a bench press with a barbell or something like that. The risk of injury here with machines is very low, and it's easier to learn the exercise and just to build up your conditioning this way. And next on our list, we have a vertical pulling exercise. And for this one, we're going to do the lat pull down. And most gyms are going to have some sort of lat pull down machine. So this is pretty standard in virtually every gym that you go to. And it's a great exercise that's going to work the lats. And secondary stress is going to be placed on the biceps as well as the forearms from gripping the weight. So what I want you to do here again, start off very light, go through the motions, 15 reps, and increase the weight with each set. Next up, going to do a vertical shoulder press. And you notice with these workouts, we're focusing on working each plane of motion. So we're doing a horizontal pull, a horizontal push, doing a vertical pull, a vertical push, and we're working all the different planes of the body. And this is a great way to start because we're going to hit all the major muscle groups and work your body in balance and proportion. So right here, we've got the seated shoulder press machine, and this is a great one that's going to target the deltoids and the triceps. Now with this one, you're going to have to experiment with the height of the seat, and ideally you want it set up so that you can go through a full range of motion without the weight plates touching in between repetitions. You want to keep constant tension on the muscle at all times as you're doing the movement. Now, if you don't have access to this type of shoulder press machine at your gym, then you can do dumbbells. You know, every gym is going to have a set of dumbbells, so you could do the exact same movement using dumbbells instead. Same principle applies. The only thing is, when you're using dumbbells, obviously you have to balance and support the weight, so it's a little bit more unsteady, so just be cautious. Always start off light, lift within your means, and progress gradually. Moving down the body, we're going to do some work for our legs with the leg press machine. Now, there are different variations of the leg press. I'm a big fan of the 45-degree angle leg press machine, and this is very common in most gyms. Now, with the leg press, you're going to be working the overall leg, specifically the quadriceps, which is the front of the leg, the hamstrings, which is the back of the leg, as well as the hips and glutes. And this is a great leg exercise because it supports your back and it's very safe to do because, again, the machine is going to balance and stabilize the weight for you. All you have to do is focus on pressing against resistance. For this machine, I would recommend starting off with the empty sled. Just go through the motions, get comfortable with the exercise, and then increase the weight with each set. And again, don't be too eager to increase too much too soon. There's always lots of time later on to make the exercises harder and more challenging. For now, we're developing the habit of showing up to the gym and learning the proper technique. Now, if you don't have access to a leg press machine like this, then you can do body weight squats instead. And this is going to work the same major muscle groups. You're going to work your quadriceps, you're going to work your hamstrings, your hips, your glutes, all the major muscles of the lower body. And you don't need any exercise equipment whatsoever. Just literally do squats with your body weight. And this is a great exercise, especially for a beginner. Now, you don't need to add weight to it, just use your body weight alone. Focus on doing at least 15 repetitions, and you can build up the volume of sets and reps as you increase your fitness level. Now, if it gets to the point where body weight alone isn't challenging enough, you can add resistance by holding a dumbbell to your chest. And this is known as a goblet squat, where you actually cup the dumbbell vertically with both hands, hold it to your chest, and just do the squat that way.
So it's a great way to build up the resistance and the intensity of the squats gradually over time. Moving on in our workout, we're going to do some work for our core, our abdominals, using the crunch machine. And here at Platinum Fitness, we have an awesome abdominal crunch machine that I like to use, and this allows you to train your abdominals under resistance. Now, you may or may not have access to this machine at your gym. Doesn't matter if you do or don't, because I'm going to show you some variations that you can do instead. This is the Nautilus crunch machine right here. And again, it allows you to work the erectus abdominis, which is the frontal abdominal wall, under resistance. So experiment with the seat height and the position. Get a position that feels right for you. Start off very light and go through the motions. At least 15 repetitions per set. And when it comes to abdominal exercises, focus on quality, really feeling those abdominal muscles contract with each repetition, and increase the weight gradually as you feel your capability to do so. And if you don't have access to a crunch machine, that's okay, because you can do some body weight abdominal exercises as well. I mean, just simple things like crunches and leg raises on the floor will still work the entire abdominals. Just focus on feeling your abdominal muscles contract with each rep, and do high repetitions. Shoot for at least 15 to 25 repetitions per set, really getting a good burn in the abs. And to finish off our workout, we're going to do some post-workout cardio. Now, this could be something as simple as just going for a walk on the treadmill. It could be using the stationary bike. It could be using the elliptical machine. It really doesn't matter. Just do something that's going to keep your body moving. And ideally shoot for a minimum of 10 minutes or even as much as 20 minutes after your workout. And this is a great way to help reduce any lactic acid buildup in the muscles, so that it will help speed up recovery after your workout. And it's also going to help to tap into burning some stubborn body fat, which is what we all want to do, right? If you're a beginner, you're getting back in shape, losing that body fat is of utmost importance. So doing some post-workout cardio is a great way to do that. That concludes the workout. Now, if you have any questions, comments, or feedback about it, please feel free to post those down in the comment section below. And if you haven't already done so, make sure to subscribe to the Total Fitness Bodybuilding YouTube channel, because I have a whole series of videos coming your way that are going to show you how to get in your best shape in 2020. This is just the first workout of the series, and I have several more covering different exercises, different muscle groups, and it's going to be a complete beginner's training series that you can follow. So again, make sure to stay tuned for those, because I don't want you to miss any of them. And if you would like some help with implementing a complete workout and nutrition program for yourself, and you have some questions about it, feel free to send me an email. My personal email address is leeh@leehayward.com, and just drop me a line. Or if you would like some help with a customized meal and nutrition plan and a workout routine specific for you, your body type, your goals, and your situation, feel free to send me an email, and we can discuss a realistic action plan that's right for you. So again, hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I look forward to talking to you in my next video coming soon. Have yourself an awesome day. Take care. Over and out.